Hi everybody! Alright, I'm making a follow-up video to the video. I made it a couple days ago, but I uploaded it today. Anyway, I want to talk a little bit more about how do you discover who and what you truly are made of? How do you discover what is your ultimate potential? How do you discover why you are actually here? There's so many reasons for why you're here. You can take so many different avenues and they're all the right one. We all sort of think, what is I'm just going to work this job for the rest of my life. I'm a spiritual person, but I'm not have any psychic skills or spiritual healing abilities, so I don't really know what else to do with it. Well, wait a second. You said you were a spiritual person. So what is it that you know about spirituality? What is it that interests you about spirituality? Well, I like to make crystal grids, but I'm not very good at it. Wait, you make crystal grids? That's awesome. So do that. Why are you not very good at it? Why are you not very good at being spiritual? How do you get better at being spiritual? How do you start to influence and then others to discover their own spiritual sides? You got to start giving credit where credit is due, and you got to stop just throwing it to the wayside and saying, "Well, this is as far as I can go." No, there's so much further you can go. In that video, I talk about some of the deeper thoughts I've had about my own role here. Because my role is what I've always known my whole life. I always knew my whole life I was going to be a famous person and that I was going to have a very profound role with humanity. I knew I was going to write a book. I haven't written an official book yet, but I knew I would write a book one day and that I would be an important person, a celebrity style person. I didn't know how I was going to become that. I didn't know. But my whole life I've always known this. And here I am, I'm starting to move into that role, and it's kind of creeping me out because my whole life you're sort of born here. Your parents go to work, you go to daycare. And then you start going to preschool, and then you go to regular school, and then you go to college, and then you start working the 8 to 5 job, and then you start having your own family, and then the sort of the structure just goes into a loophole over and over and over again. So once you get out of that loophole, you start working for yourself or whatever it is, it becomes very strange because all you've ever known is the structure of being. And the structure of being that doesn't really it makes you feel like a lowly individual. Your importance level isn't really there. You have a role that is important, but everything is so mechanical. Do the resume, there's something about that. Once you get beyond it, and now I'm actually doing what I've been called to do this whole time, and it's sort of strange for me, right? Because I'm sort of participating in helping humanity, and you start to come into an awareness of, oh my gosh, I have a role to help humanity, and this is what humanity looks like. Oh my gosh. It's weird because the mind and the ego and everything is going to make this out to be way more overwhelming than it really is. What you need to do, or so what I do, is when I get sort of overwhelmed, this is just me sharing personal example, right? It's important to have this stuff. You can use these personal examples in your own life because things are changing for you. I'm telling you, things are changing for you. Things are changing for me. Things are changing for the world. Things are changing. The reason why things are changing is because energy is always moving. It's always transitioning. And the more we go down this journey line of human ascension, the more kooky and nutty and mind-boggly it's going to get. And we're going to start going inward. We're just going to start asking questions about ourselves and about the world. We're going to want to start being people that we never thought we ever would be. Because human ascension does that. Human ascension isn't a warm, fuzzy, oh, I saw angels, yay, now I'm ascended. No. Human awakening, human ascension is going down the line of discovering yourself on a level that is opening you up to love in ways that this world is going to become more and more intolerable. This world is going to become more and more hard to digest. And you're going to start feeling smaller and smaller while the world seems to get worse and worse, and you're not going to have a freaking clue how you're going to make a difference, and all you want to do is just, keep your head above water. That's not going to work. Human ascension, that's not going to work. Human ascension is asking you to stand up and start looking at yourself. Start looking at your life. Start not thinking about the global calamity or, oh my God. Start saying, I'm just one person and I matter, and I really want to make this the best life I can make it. So I'm actually going to explore the things that create the reflections of love in my life. I'm going to choose to start eating right, or I'm going to choose to do yoga once a week. I'm going to choose to add the small flavor of spirituality into my life. And something you need to start looking at yourself, looking at who you want to be, start looking at all the ways that you can become more and more a reflection of love. The more you become a reflection of love, the more this world becomes a reflection of love. Because every individual that chooses to become more a reflection of love, wow, now we have a whole world of individuals wanting to become more a reflection of love, and now, oh my God, there's love all across the globe. You see how we change the reflection of society? We just start to be the individuals who radiate love. That's all we have to do. If there's one important role that we all have, it is to step up and just, no matter what it takes, just try and be loving as best you can towards yourself and towards those that you love. And if you have a stumble in there and you feel like you're getting off the track, that's okay. That happens along the way. Just allow it to happen. It'll cycle out and you'll stand back up and you can keep moving along. So I'm talking to my spirit guides on where we can continue this conversation here, because it's important, and I want to talk about this to go a step further than what I was saying in that part 1 video. So my spirit guides are saying, okay, so what was it that, okay, so I've always had this sort of odd feeling that I had an important purpose, okay? It's been a part of me my whole life. I didn't know that it was supposed to be spiritual related. I actually thought I was going to be a celebrity or something. I thought I was going to write a book and be famous. That's what I thought. I didn't think it was going to be about my spiritual side. I did not think that at all. In fact, I hid my spiritual side my whole life. I didn't want people to know about me being different. I didn't want people to know that because that wasn't acceptable. People don't get you. You don't want to be that weirdo that talks to invisible people, because people might think you're a nutcase and you need to go to the psych ward. You probably need medication. So I just kept all that stuff to myself. Yes, I talk to invisible people. I talk to invisible people all the time. What do my spirit guides look like? I don't have a freaking clue what my spirit guides look like. I don't even care what they look like. I don't care what their names are. I do not care what my spirit guides look like or what their names are. Most people want to know what their spirit guides look like. They want to know what their names are, etc. What is the message you have to share with me? What is the way I'm feeling today? I just talk to the invisible people and then they tell me things. Sometimes they don't tell me anything at all. When they don't tell me anything at all, then it is what it is, and I just keep going about life as I am. You know what I mean? So anyway, I've always had this sort of, the more time has passed, so I become more and more spiritual as time has passed. So how did I become more spiritual? Well, I started talking to God, right? And then, I started noticing things. How come I was noticing these things, but other people didn't? Like, I honestly, I would get really sensitive about the way people treated other people at school. I didn't understand, why do people have to be bullies? Why do people have to make fun of people who don't look the same, or who have weight issues, or, have more acne, or who knows what? I just didn't understand why we can't just love each other, because wouldn't that just make this a much better experience for us all? Why is it because you have money and you have attractive looks that now you're just more important than everybody else? You know what I mean? Like, that is quite a normal sort of pattern year after year, generation after generation. That seems to be a very normal pattern in school. And so you get out of school, and I still had this spiritual side, so I start reading books, and I start to see what other people have to say about spirituality, because I had nobody to talk to. So this was one thing that I had. I was still talking to invisible people, but it's more like me share, and then sometimes, I really didn't care what they had to say. So me share, me talk to them. Don't tell me what to do, because I'm not going to do it anyway. I'm just going to do whatever I want. I'm a human being living my own life, so screw you people. I'm just going to live my life however I feel like, and I just need you to talk to. I just need you people. So I'm just going to talk to you people, because I was very alone. I was always kind of a hermity type of person. I kept to myself. I mean, wasn't completely alone, but I always was very alone, because I never shared the real side of myself. I never shared my spiritual side. So people never really knew anything about me. People never really knew who I truly was. I was just trying to be, myself in every way except the way that I truly was deep down inside. So you keep going through life, you keep having these experiences. Obviously, the spirit realm has forced me into scenarios where I have to start speaking out about who I am. Otherwise, I'm going to lose my mind. I have to start sharing myself. I can't keep pretending to be like everybody else if I'm not like everybody else, because now it starts to destroy you inside. Eventually, you have to just start being yourself. And so I started being myself the best way I knew how. I created a website. I did a bunch of writing, and now here we are. I'm a spiritual healer. I share psychic wisdom. So, in that video, I talk about where I am at right now, because I'm at a point where this just isn't good enough. What I'm sharing just isn't good enough. Obviously, what I'm sharing is awesome. What I'm sharing is good enough. What I'm sharing is supporting change. What I'm sharing is helping people. But you don't know the caliber of what my potential is. What is the caliber of my potential? Do you know what I'm meant to do in this lifetime? Do you know what it is I am meant to do in this lifetime? Because it's not just to make these videos. It's not just to do the psychic work. It's to do something far more profound than that. And I'm in a point here, the way the energy has been rolling through January and now we're going into February, it is forcing me to dig deep and start to explore the next phase of my identity, the next phase of who I am. So in this spiritual role, what is the next phase of who I am? And how do I bring that to the surface? How do I go beyond this? I already know I'm going to go beyond this, whether my human mind or brains have a clue how I'm going to get there or not. So I just already know in my heart that things are changing, but I'm also choosing to develop. I'm actually telling the universe that I'm aware that I am as far as I can go with what I'm sharing right now. And it is time now for me to go further beyond this. The last time I had this conversation, I talk about in that video, I lost my job and then I started having really crazy spiritual experiences. I never did sacred rituals before in my whole life. Putting blood on the earth and sharing a sacred gift with it, that was freaky, that was strange and weird, but I was called to do it. What does it feel like to be called to do something? You can't get it out of your heart and out of your head, out of your senses. I have to do this. I don't know why. I have got to go to, this nature spot, and I have to lay down here, and I'm supposed to go into a meditative state. Anybody would be like, oh my God, you're a freaking nutcase. I'm not a nutcase. I swear to God, I am not a nutcase. The energy of the universe is calling me to be actively involved in doing something. And I have learned so many incredible things through that exploration that now I can share with others and help others discover the value of loving connections with Mother Earth through sharing blood, through sharing sacred stones, through sharing sexual energy, connecting with the spirit realm and exploring sacred rituals. I know all about that stuff. I know all about talking to alien beings. That was also a part of this sort of next phase that happened in 2012. And now I'm going into a whole new phase starting in 2017. What is this new phase? All I know is that I'm at a point where I'm discovering that it is time for me to go beyond this. It is time for me to go further. I don't know exactly what going further means. I know this isn't good enough in comparison to where I am meant to be going from here. So I've been in a deep way exploring my life, exploring the way that I feel in this role, exploring who I am as a person and what I need to work on to become a better person, what I need to work on to get better at this. And so I'm exploring my behavioral patterns, my psychology, what has developed me, my role here, and how I can go further with this role, right? So, what is my ultimate potential? What is your ultimate potential? Do you know what your ultimate potential is? So, if I'm going to tell you what my ultimate potential is, now you need to really think about what you're capable of, okay? Because I've always known that somehow, some way, one of the biggest things that I'm meant to do in this life is to share with thousands and thousands and thousands of people miracle healing energy where everybody just instantly is healed. How am I supposed to do that? So I'm learning how to do that. I'm already helping people on extraordinary levels with the spiritual healing I'm sharing currently. But there's so much further I can go with this. I share healing through a video to heal everybody who watches a video. I'm still going further with this. I'm still learning, right? I'm still wanting to go further. So where I am now and where I will be 30 years from now is an old woman, with thousands of people in a natural space, turning, at a lake, turning water into light and healing everybody of every disease ever known. Instantly, just through intention and love alone, and through the gift of everybody's soul that is also there choosing to be actively participating in this massive spiritual ritual, healing, awakening, human ascension, super spiritual healing moment. So here I am today, and this is where I'm going to be in 30 years. So how many revolving doors will I be going through between age 34 and age 64? You know what I mean? How many revolving doors am I going to go through? So now you can understand why I would say, why I would feel, why I would perceive that this is not good enough. I have so much further I have to go in order to become who and what I am truly meant to be. Who are you meant to be? How far can you go? How many revolving doors are you going to have to go through? Do you know how many times I'm going to have to reform my psychology, my emotional and mental patterns, my heart portal in order to become that profound human being? That stuff doesn't just happen like that. You actually develop over in a lifetime to become somebody like that. Because being human, having the ego is the challenge. Ego hates spiritual enlightenment. Ego will destroy you. Ego will demand that you kill yourself before you become a spiritually enlightened human being. It is extremely, extremely hard. You keep going, you keep ascending. That's why these energy shifts are hard on us all, because they are demanding that we keep going, we keep ascending. We transition into the miracle workers we are meant to be 30 years from now. Okay? This world isn't about go be a paper pusher. Go just follow the rules. Go just be like everybody else. This world is about finding who you are and then being who you are. Do you see what I mean here? Who am I? I did not want to be a spiritual person. I wanted to just meet somebody who related to my spiritual experiences, have those conversations, have a family, and grow old and be happy, work a normal job, have a 401k, retire, die 10 years later. I wanted to just do that. That was fine with me. I was perfectly fine with that. No, spirit did not like that. That was not good enough for spirit. Can't have that. Have to explore living in a world where nobody gets you. You're invisible. Your only friends who get you are invisible people. So you talk to yourself all the time, and you're constantly in a spiritual state all the time because that's the only place that understands who you are. So as a human being, I don't fit in here, right? But now because of this role, I'm starting to discover I do fit in here. That too is part of the psychology that I'm working on, is discovering that I'm not alone. I'm not invisible. That's very hard for me, because I'm not used to anybody getting me. So that's part of what I'm working on, is discovering that I'm not invisible anymore, and that I have a role here, and it is coming into form, that I'm meant to be here. I'm meant to help human beings through this ascension process, and I'm walking right along with you. I am experiencing the knocks on the door that suck. I experience the joys of energy motivations that just make you feel awesome and ready to start the day, or the motivations that just you don't want to get out of bed. I'm part of this with you, okay? So I'm making this video for you to start thinking about, who are you? You were called to be here. So what are you going to be, and what are you going to do? Who did you feel you were always meant to be growing up? One thing I always felt I was meant to be was a magician. I didn't understand that magician at that time meant spiritual healer, miracle worker. Not to actually play the illusionary strings, but actually play the spiritual energetic strings and make healing happen. Change people's lives. Transform their entire perspective of what is. Because what is profound. You explore a spiritual reality, and you are in an infinite universe. Suddenly, you are in an infinite universe. You explore a human reality, and now we might as well just take our heads and go smash. We just feel smashed by this world. We feel depressed by this world. We feel like we don't have a way out. We feel like we're stuck in a cubicle world. We feel like we're stuck following everybody's rules. One really cool idea, my friend Joseph and I were talking about this, and I share spiritual healing with Joseph on my website, and he's also experiences the spirit realm in the exact same way I do, which is a total gift for me because I never met anybody who experienced spirit realm like I do. And we were talking about the way that this world could change very quickly, very easily, if we started to promote actions of love. One idea he shared with me that I thought was totally cool, and I'm just going to put it out there. This is you. This is your potential. You could be this person that puts this idea into action, you see. So his idea was to create a skyscraper that's a greenhouse, and that every community would have like a skyscraper greenhouse, the like 40-story building that is entirely full of plants. I mean, we don't know how architecturally that structure would hold up. Maybe it would have to be really long and wide and just like a huge plot of like land. But to make it a massive greenhouse that you could grow food all year round, and that everybody would have all the fruits and vegetables they need, and that now fruits and vegetables or healthy foods would actually be far cheaper than the processed foods. So now we're eating healthy, we're connecting with Mother Earth, we're supporting our communities, we're providing jobs to people who love nature, who are really good at growing things. I suck at growing things, but some people are awesome at it, and I just am so glad there's real people on this planet with the green thumb, you know? And I thought, that's ingenious. Imagine, maybe we can't, count on Trump to give this idea to us, but now we give the ideas to each other. And I don't know how to do this. Joseph and I, we could come up with an idea, right? But we need somebody who's smart, somebody who would like to take the bull by the horns, somebody who is a great has a great green thumb, and now your role is actually with Mother Earth. So let's say you work an everyday job, you're in sales or you're on a call center or whatever it might be, but you have one awesome knack working with plants. Now you have a role. How far can you take that role? Now you should start a website. Just start somewhere and say, this is my method for growing the perfect poinsettia or whatever it might be. And then you start moving forward, and people like, oh, thank God you can teach me how to work with plants. I suck at working with plants. Now you go further with it, and you start starting a business, and then you go further with that, and now you start developing these things within the community. You see how we have a purpose beneath the skin of ourselves? We aren't robots. We're real people. We have real potential. And the more you connect with the spirit side of you and bring the spirit side out, now suddenly you are participating in changing this world and bringing forth ideas of love. And that was one really cool one that I thought is worth sharing, because this video is really about finding your purpose and seeing how far you can go with it. Who am I as Abbey Normal, and how far can I go with this? I have a long ways to go, and I'm doing awesome so far. But God, heaven, the universe, the spirit realm, the ascension energy, the earth, everything is calling me for several weeks to go very deep. And a lot of us have been feeling very deep. Like since that full moon hit in January and now into the new moon is starting to feel a little bit more chipper, but still kind of deep. But it's inspiring us to ask ourselves, who am I and what are we ready for next? And jump on the bandwagon of spirit, okay? Jump on that bandwagon and go places. It's time for you to go places. Not to be the paper pusher, but to be the super awesome that you are, and just keep going more and more super awesome-y. That's what I'm doing. And that's what you should do too. If I'm doing it, then you should do it. And we can all do it together, and we can be dominoes for each other, and we can start inspiring each other. We can build each other up. We can hold each other. We can help each other. Some of us are really good listeners, and some of us are really good talkers. We need both. We need the quiet people, and we need the talkative people. We need the people who are really good at advertising to sell these awesome ideas. about the skyscraper greenhouse. We need somebody who really loves other people, and maybe you don't have the spiritual healing skills, but you have the heart about you, and you actually are so compassionate, and you really love children that are in sort of hard family homes or something. You really want to help children. Now do that. Find your place in this world, but make it about your heart. Find your heart and your purpose, and now go with that, okay? You're not alone. There is potential for you, and you can wake up and rejoice in each and every day because you are being who and what you are called to be, what you are meant to be. Sometimes it's hard to be who you are meant to be because it can be surprising, because it doesn't relate to anything you've ever been raised to believe in. You know, we haven't been raised to believe that we could go outside the rules of society and create the skyscraper greenhouse. And we never thought it would be us that would do it. You know what I mean? You never thought it would be you that would do it. Somebody is meant to do this, dang it. Somebody has an amazing ability to solve the issue with contaminated water. Somebody has the ability to, there's everything out there, and we need to band together. Maybe you've always wanted to be on the news. Maybe you could start your own news channel and make it about promoting the awesome things that people are doing around the world to help humanity. Promote, the 5-hour energy guy. I love hearing about that guy because all the money that he makes with selling 5-hour energy, he puts it towards projects that will save the planet and heal human beings across the globe. Isn't that awesome? The guy becomes insanely rich and uses his money to better the world. All of us are going to be okay because of the 5-hour energy guy. You see what I mean? Do you see what I mean? This world can become something beautiful and amazing, and it can grow, and you can be a part of that growth. Get your voice out there. Get your idea out there. Find somebody to support you or promote yourself. I had to promote myself. I'm still promoting myself. And then I have you lovely people out here who actually think I'm all right, and then you promote me too. And so you see, Abbey right now is going to keep moving on up the ladder of awesome. And she's going to be even more of an Abbey down the road, thanks to you, thanks to the spirit realm, thanks to Ascension, thanks to us believing in each other. That's how we grow as well. We grow with the help of each other, and we grow with spirit, and we put love into action. So this is just my part 2 follow-up video on the video I made it like a couple days ago, but I just shared it today. I wasn't sure if I was going to share it because I felt kind of vulnerable talking about the challenging ways the deeper ways that I have felt. When you feel deeper, it does challenge you because I love being happy. I like seeing people smile. I like feeling in the balance, And when you feel out of balance, it's sort of like, oh man, but I was on a roll. I was feeling the thunder and the lightning, and I was feeling awesome, and now I'm really forced to go deep again and start thinking about things. It's an awesome deepness because on the other end of it, it's promoting me, inspiring me to say it is time to do more. It is time, Spirit. I am ready for you to up the ante in my life and my world and help mold me and shape me into being the miracle healer I am meant to be for humanity as time continues on. I am ready for you to mold me and shape me into the human being who can touch more lives. I'm ready to go further. I still have things to work on as a human being, but I'm working on those. We just take it one day at a time. All right, that's all I'm going to share for this video. Thank you for watching. And if you would like to visit with me one-on-one, I would absolutely love to connect with you and share psychic guidance for your life or spiritual healing. If you're interested, please visit my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. Thank you for watching, and thank you for supporting my channel.